So now we are going to discuss about fourth problem on computation of TDS. Now they have given from the following details of income, compute TDS amount for each transaction. Now look at first item what they have given. They have given winnings from puzzle rupees 8,000. So winnings from puzzle, winning from horse race, winning from card games, winning from gambling, all this will come under the category of casual incomes. So whenever they mention in any casual income in the question for computation of TDS, please remember the amount should be in excess of 10%. Then only TDS will be deducted or TDS will be applicable. Now here in case of winning from puzzle, the amount is 8,000. That means it is not above 10,000. So no TDS is applicable. So it will be TDS will not be calculated. Now here under particulars column write down first item winnings from puzzle. Winnings from puzzle. So what is the amount of winnings from puzzle? Income is 8,000 rupees. So under income column write as 8,000. So since there is no TDS applicable, it will be completely exempt from TDS. So TDS is not applicable in this case. You can either write as not applicable or you can write as exempt. Now lump sum payment to a contractor X limited rupees 40,000. Now here what they have given, lump sum payment made to a contractor X limited. So if they had given in the question the payment is made to X, then again the X will be individual. So in case of X, any payment made to contractor, if he is an individual, it will be computed at 1%. Since they have given X limited, it will be other than individual. So in case of TDS to contractor other than individual, the rate of TDS applicable is 2%. So here under particulars write as lump sum payment to contractor. Lump sum payment to contractor. Now how much amount they are making? They are paying 40,000. Now since it is a company, that is other than individual, the rate of TDS applicable is 2%. So now we have to compute 2% on for 40,000 it will be 800. So the amount of TDS will be 800. Then again third item they have given dividend from a company other than listed company is 50,000. Now in case dividend, if the dividend is received from listed company, then it will be completely exempted from TDS. Now since they have given dividend from other than listed company means unlisted company, that means 10% of TDS will be applicable on the same. So write down under particulars dividend from unlisted company. Dividend from unlisted company. Now how much dividend they are receiving from unlisted company? They are receiving 50,000. So on this 50,000, 10% of TDS should be calculated. So how much will be 10% on 50,000? It will be 5,000. Now again next item they have given interest on securities is 15,000. So whenever they give interest on securities or interest on term deposits or interest on bank deposits, we have to check the amount. Only if it is more than 10,000, then again TDS will be applicable. Here how much they have given? They have given 15,000. So it is more than 10,000. So 10% of TDS should be computed on the same. So under particulars write down interest on securities. Now interest on securities amount is 10,000. Sorry, amount is 15,000. Now on this 15,000, 10% of TDS should be computed. So 10% on 15,000 will be 1,500. Then again next item they are given commission earned by an insurance agent. So commission, whenever the insurance agent is earning the commission, now it should be more than 15,000 for TDS to be applicable. Here it see they have given amount as 40,000. So TDS will be applicable at the rate of TDS will be applicable at a rate of 5% on the same. So commission earned by an insurance agent. Under particular rate of commission earned by insurance agent. So how much commission insurance agent is getting? He is getting 40,000. Now on this 40,000 again 5% of the TDS should be computed. So 5% on 40,000 will be 2,000. Then what is next item they have given in question? They have given sale of building 49 lakhs. So whenever there is a sale of immovable property, the amount should be beyond or it should be more than 50 lakhs for applicability of TDS. Here they are given as 49 lakhs. So in this case TDS will be not applicable, so it will be completely exempted from TDS. Now what you will write? You write as sale of building. How much is the amount? It is 49 lakhs. So since it is lesser than 50 lakhs, TDS is not applicable. You can write either as not applicable or you can write as exempt. Then again, next item, they have given withdrawal from National Savings Scheme rupees 5,000. So whenever there is a withdrawal made from National Savings Scheme, it should be more than 2,500 for applicability of TDS. Here the amount is 5,000. That means it is in excess of 2,500. So again 10% of TDS will be computed on same. So write down under particulars withdrawal from National Savings Scheme. So how much they are withdrawing from National Savings Scheme? They are withdrawing 5,000. So on this 5,000 again 10% of the TDS has to be computed. So how much will be 10% on 5,000? It will be 500. Then next item they have given rent paid on building 68,000 per month. So rent, whenever there is rent, it should be more than 50,000 for applicability of TDS. So here since it is 68,000, it is more than 50,000. So 10% of TDS will be deducted on rent paid. Now write down under particulars rent paid on building. So how much is rent paid on building? It is 68,000. And the rate of TDS is 5%. Now rate of TDS on building, sorry I told you as 10%, it is 5%. So whenever there is rent paid on building in excess of 50,000, 5% of the TDS will be computed on the same. So 5% on 68,000 will be how much? It will be 3,400. The next item they have given LIC amount paid to the policy holder by the company on maturity. Now LIC amount withdrawn on the by the policy holder on maturity. So whenever there is a LIC maturity amount taken by a policy holder, you should see that the amount is more than 1 lakh or not. Then only TDS will be applicable. So since the amount on maturity of LIC is 2 lakh rupees, which is more than 1 lakh rupees, 1% on TDS is applicable for the same. So under particulars you write as LIC amount paid to policy holder. LIC amount paid to policy holder, how much they are paying? 2 lakh rupees. Now on this 2 lakh rupees, 1% of TDS should be computed. So 1% on 2 lakh will be 2,000 rupees. Then again, last item they have given withdrawal of premature employee provident fund, which is 53,000. So whenever there is withdrawal from employee provident fund or EPF, it should be more than 50,000 for applicability of TDS. Since they have given 53,000, it is more than 50,000. So here you have to be careful. Now if the assessee is furnishing PAN number, 10% will be applicable. If he is failing to furnish the PAN number, then again 20% of the TDS will be applicable on withdrawal of PF amount. Now here since they have not given anything, we will compute the withdrawal from EPF to be 10%. Now under particular write down withdrawal from employees provident fund. How much amount has been withdrawn? 53,000. Now they have not mentioned whether they have furnished PAN or they have not furnished PAN. So you cannot assume that they have not furnished PAN. So with the amount of TDS in case of PAN which is furnished is 10%. So on this 53,000, we will calculate the TDS at the rate of 10%. So 10% on 53,000 will be 5,300. So this is how we have to solve this problem. Hope you have all understood. Thank you.